Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, thanks for having us.
Yeah, really excited to be here.
Yes,
Good to see you guys here as well. Looking forward to it.
Definitely. As you can tell, or I don't know if you can tell, but we're brothers. We're not twins.
Yeah, we're brothers, yeah.
We're brothers, so we basically started Original Flavour firstly at our grandmother's house. My grandmother, who lives in Croydon, she's kind enough to let us use her space to do videos and showing our friends, because a lot of our friends wanted to know how to make Caribbean food, but didn't know how to make it. So we went to our nan's house and we got a really basic camera. And yeah, we just started off and making our first video, which got 1 million views in a week, which was insane.
Yeah, it's amazing. It seems so far away. It's only 3 years ago when we started doing videos at our grandma's house. Our first one that my brother said, Bun and Cheese, which got over 1 million views in 1 week. It was a great time actually, because Bun and Cheese is usually during Easter time, and we brought it out in Easter time, and it done really well. And we thought, you know, why does everyone need to go to restaurants when they can actually make it themselves? So we tried to get more people in the kitchen, cooking. We feel it's really important to cook and know what you're putting in your food.
Definitely.
And also just teach you skills, life skills like discipline, you know, morals, things like that. So
it's exactly that. I think, you know, growing up, like, that's why it's so, you know, it's quite nice to start it all from our grandma's house. And since then, you know, she's been a character on our social platforms. So we've now got the privilege of over 500,000 followers online, through Facebook, YouTube.
It's amazing. It's been an amazing
social
journey.
Media. Yeah, it's been a fantastic
journey. We feel
journey.
it was like a niche that everyone wanted. Yeah. Because, you know, everyone loves Caribbean food, but not everyone knows how to make it. Yeah. So we made it simple, accessible, and obviously tasty. So people that never even entered the kitchen before can make it.
Exactly.
Just for our videos. They're very simple, step by step, and detailed. So even if you're not a chef, you can cook. You can be a chef overnight.
So, you know, there's a stigma around Caribbean food that it is, you know, quite intimidating. You know, the smells, the different seasonings you might have seen on it, or the colour of it, or the texture of it, the shapes, etc. So it's quite intimidating, but we wanted to produce a platform that showed everyday people like ourselves, like yourselves, how easy it is to make it, because, you know, we're not Michelin-star chefs or anything like that. We're just two brothers that love to cook, and we were raised through cooking and how cooking brought people together, and just a loving environment for families, for couples, for individuals, no matter who you are, where you're from. Caribbean food was always seen as something more than just the food. It was the essence around the food, the love, the unity, the community. So,
and also most importantly, the process of the food. It's not just the food on the plate, it's how it gets there. So, you know, going to the supermarkets, meeting the butcher, meeting the meat butcher and the veg butcher, the veg person, and just seeing the process, make sure you get the right cuts of meat. And, you know, going through the market. I remember going through the market with my grandma when we were young. I used to hate stepping through on the fruits and veg, but I loved it because it was like an experience and a process of soaking the peas overnight for rice and peas, seasoned meat overnight. It was an amazing process, and the thought process and the love that went into that was obviously put on the plate, and finally everyone eating it as well. It was amazing.
Exactly that. So our background is predominantly Jamaican, predominantly the first, or the generation that we know of are Jamaican, and, you know, we've always been grown up in a Jamaican culture within Britain, within the UK. We're from South London, and in South London there's a very, very heavy Caribbean culture there. So it felt like, even though we've never been to Jamaica, it felt like Jamaica. When we went to Jamaica, it actually was quite familiar things. Familiar things that we saw growing up in South London. That was in Jamaica predominantly. And one of the things was the markets. So, you know, growing up, like my brother said, we would go with my grandmother on both sides, my mum and my dad's side. We would go to, you know, Brixton Market, East Street Market in Elephant Castle. Croydon Market.
We found that it was quite similar in markets. There's a place called Coronation Market in Kingston, downtown Kingston in Jamaica. It's very similar to Brixton Market. It reminded me of Brixton Market. Just the hustle and bustle, the similar fruit and veg that you can find. You know, everyone just hustling to make money. It was an amazing experience. Obviously, there's more fruit in Jamaica, more fresher stuff there.
Yeah.
More accessible in Jamaica that you can get in the UK.
Yeah.
But and also just in terms of the street markets and the stalls, there's so many people selling food. Yeah. And everyone knew. It was so fascinating to see that everyone knew about food out there. In most corners, there were people doing jerk chicken, you know, just doing some breadfruit. They could stop on the way to another island or another area of Jamaica and stop and get some nice fresh jerk chicken. Someone hustling to make it. It was really good.
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. So, you know, we've been growing up in a real culture of food and family and all those sort of things. So I think, you know, then, and that also that it's quite interesting how we were raised in the UK. You know, UK schools, friends from all over the world, from here, from all over Europe, etc., and how Jamaican food has always been seen as something that people love, but not sure, you know, how to make it, like we said. So that's why we created Original Flavour. Yeah. And throughout our journey of Original Flavour, you know, it's been many highs and lows. You know, people doubting whether, you know, we're Jamaican enough because we wasn't born there. But because of our heritage, of our family, you know, it's been such a journey being able to cross-wire the UK living with Caribbean living, which is a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing about this country. Beautiful thing about Caribbeans, we know how to fit in anywhere we go. So once we were developing Original Flavour, a lot of people wanted to have a cookbook, so we didn't have any money. So we kind of like put it on the people a bit, so we done a crowdfunding campaign. Yeah, we did a Kickstarter campaign. We initially wanted £5,000 just to help with book costing, and thankfully we were able to raise £14,000. All our followers believed in our vision. They wanted the cookbooks, and we kind of gave it to them, and they wanted to help. Yeah. And in order to make that, so we did like donations, and so if you like contribute a certain amount of money, you get a book. Or we've done cooking classes as well, free online tutorials for the people as well. So yeah, the Kickstarter kind of elevated us in our first journey of our first book, which was bringing the flavour to your kitchen, which was self-published by us. Literally, it was an amazing journey. You know, we went through it all. You know, meeting the guy from Slovenia with his big lorry and getting the books off, and so we've been through it from the ground up, really. You know, shed loads in my nan's shed of books, and they went damp, and then no, get panicking. Literally, I remember it went damp. Some of the books went damp because it was raining, and we got every single book out, and we like started drying them out and stuff like that. Yeah, it's been a long, good journey, and thankfully now we're being published by Bloomsbury, who are, you know, one of the best publishers in the UK. Yeah. They've helped us on our journey, taking us to Jamaica, and helping us produce a really beautiful book. Yeah, we're so proud of it, you know. So with the success of the first book went to #1 on Amazon, Caribbean Food and Drinks, which was really insane for us. So we've put in so much hard work, dedication, nights long, so many, you know. So it was tough, but it was so enjoyable because there was so much goodness that came out of it. We were helping so many people. So that's why we wanted to start Original Flavour in the first place, was just to help our friends. There was no monetary involvement in it or any backing from anybody. It was just literally just us learning YouTube tutorials on how to do video, Premiere Pro, or how to do video recipes and stuff like that, and then it literally just blew up overnight. And you know, we've had the privilege now of producing this book, which is also went to #1 on Amazon, and it's just a brilliant journey, being able to help so many people online that you don't even know. You know what I'm saying? And because of social media, and because of the awareness of raising money and online platforms, it's enabled us to be in places like this today, and helping our family, you know, people back in Jamaica, setting up charity systems in Jamaica that we're in the process of doing. So there's so much arms to this that we want to do and continue to do. So it's been beautiful. So I think the love of new media these days, like, you know, social media. Without social media, there'll be no Original Flavour. Without YouTube, there'll be no Original Flavour, because I would have just winged it and just completely messed up the editing.
So with social media, we're able to help people all across the globe. You know, we had a message from someone from China actually saying they received our previous book. So it's amazing to know that you're helping people all across the world. Yeah, it's beautiful. learn how to make Caribbean food, and that was our aim, just to help someone. Just to, even if it was one person, to learn what we learned growing up.
Yeah.
So now it's amazing.
It's beautiful, you know, because so even now, you know, I'm growing up in South London. South London is such an amazing place. There's so many young people of our age rising up at the moment.
Yep.
You know, like the Michael Dappers that we grew up with, like Krypton Conan, the Stormzy's. You know, there's so much different people, like the poets as well. George the Poet, South London. I believe he's South London. Don't quote me. But there's so many people. That's within that audience of business as well. You know, big up all to those people who've inspired us and the people beforehand as well. And now, you know, we just want to give back to our community. So we go into schools often. We do tutorials, we do workshops with schools. We're going to Duns Raven School next week, which is in Streatham. Is it really? Wow, big up, big up.
Yeah, we went to Duns Raven. We've been there a few times actually. Doing a workshop for kids, you know, just teaching them about cooking, business and you know, discipline, things like that. It's really good.
It's really good. So we're going to go into do like a kind of little mini tour around, just literally sending out a message online.
Where should we go?
Where should we go? We're going to do free workshops to schools. Just comment below what school you want to do. Probably go to about 10 or something. Just to kind of like go to the kids and have that voice and that face of someone that has done something tangible to be able to inspire them. Because when we were growing up, there was no one that we saw that looked like us or that inspired us or that sold into us to kind of like inspire us to do whatever we wanted to do.
I feel like, you know, as my brother's saying about the children, it's a really fundamental part of Original Flavour. The kids, the future of food and cooking. We believe that, you know, it's important to educate them now while they're young, so when they get older they're able to fend for themselves and not have to go to the chicken and chip shop and, you know, get some Morley's or fried chicken. They can make it themselves. So as I said, we went to Jamaica. There's a school called Westmoreland Community School in Jamaica where we taught them how to make banana fritters. So that was an amazing experience going out to Jamaica. Something that I always dreamed of doing, you know, going out and teaching the kids there. They already knew about so much food out there, so it's amazing. The kids out there, they knew about jerk chicken, how to make it, and everything like that. Not many knew here in London. Though.
No. So even in the morning, so we went there, went to the school. They were so polite. We walked into the schoolroom, into one of the classes, and they all stood up. They said they had good morning,
Mr. Original Flavour.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. It's amazing. So. And then they were having such a real hearty food for breakfast. They had like yam.
Stewed chicken, rice.
Stewed chicken, rice.
And they were like, how old were they? 7, 8 years old?
Yeah.
It was crazy, it was amazing.
It's amazing, it's amazing. So I think, like my brother said, Original Flavour derived from a place of helping people online. And now we want to branch out into physical people. We want to branch out into being contact, like eye to eye, contact with people. And just continue the journey of Original Flavour. And I think Original Flavour, that's where we're heading into now. Being more hands-on, being more in the community physically, and still remain online because it's such a powerful tool for people like us who don't necessarily know people, you know, in headquarters and directors, or we didn't know anyone. Do you know what I mean? We literally just knew our nan. So we literally just built up. So that's what we want to try and help now, the next generation coming up as much as possible, doing online internships with us. And workshops.
Like that for kids. And also fending off doing things like supper clubs, getting people to come and taste our food. You know, because one day we'd love to get a restaurant. So. People love seeing things on screens and that, but unfortunately you can't eat on the screen. You can't lit the computer. So we're going to do more supper
technology is going to bring that in one day.
Soon that might come. So look out for some supper clubs coming soon.
So we want to continue the brand Original Flavour, continue to help people, more books, more products as well. We want to do some products as well.
Some seasonings, hopefully.
Seasonings, etc. There's so much avenues that we can go down that we, you know, currently. Thinking of the vision of Original Flavour moving forward, but above all, we just continue to help people.
That's it.
And I think that is the fundamental aspect of human life, is to help people, no matter what area or whatever, what category you're in, is to help man to man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how we continue to ensure the longevity of this world.
Amazing. You know? And keep delivering more recipes, free recipes for people. That's what people love, recipes. Definitely. So
Beautiful. Well, thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us, guys. It was great.
Cool. So, do you have any questions that we ask?
I'm always interested in startups and people taking that leap of faith in terms of doing stuff in the kitchen. You could have been doing that for years, right? But that point at which you pivoted from maybe just being in the kitchen with your nan, or being at university like you said, and cooking for audiences there, to actually launching your Kickstarter campaign. Like, what was the impetus to make you do that and push on and actually do something official, which obviously launch for your first book?
I think it was definitely for the people. We listen to the people. Our followers are a very big part of our journey. They're the reason why our book is here. They wanted a book, so we produced one, and they helped us along this journey. They supported our vision and believed in us. Definitely the people and the followers.
Yeah, definitely. I think as well, just the natural progression. We're very forward-thinking, innovative guys anyway. So we're always looking ahead. We're always looking at what we're doing next, rather than just dabbling in what we're doing right now. So we're always looking into what's next. So I think that was always the next progression from recipes into a book. So looking at different chefs. Yeah. Always innovating, always thinking of new ideas, looking at different styles of cooking, different cuisines as well, getting different ideas, and just keep progressing and keep moving forward.
Yeah, my question would be, how do you go about writing a recipe book like this? Do you just say, that's how I do the recipe, or do you do experimentation, and what happens if I take some more of this and then converge towards?
There's so much different ways of doing it. So it could be a spontaneous way, where you literally trying to make one meal, but it ends up being a completely different meal, or it could just be an accident. But majority of the time, it is you're looking for a certain taste or an occasion. So, for example, looking to got mates coming around, you're looking to make something really quick, easy, but something for a lot of people. Also, you're looking to introduce more vegetables into your diet, and I'm really looking for a curry right now. Okay, cool. What's in my fridge? Knock something together. Tastes nice. Or it's just that instinct of your love for food, of knowing the collaborations and the how one type of ingredient would collaborate with another, and knowing that will work well together. So there's so much different ways of curating a recipe and how we done it. So I think those were the main three, and also our heritage as well, what we grew up on, and finding out how to make that, and then sharing it and continuing that legacy with others. Yeah. So I think that is how we create the recipes, definitely, for sure. 100%.
And a bit of help from grandma.
I have 2 wonderful nephews. What would you suggest I do to get them into the kitchen and start being passionate about cooking and food?
Maybe just watching our videos on YouTube, because our videos are really fun and engaging as well. Kids love them, And maybe just show them our book as well. Kids love our book. It's not just for adults. Kids can actually sit down and read it. One of my friends' sons, he loved the book. He just sits down and reading it and reading the recipes. So it inspires him to cook as well. So just by looking at the book, we'll get him in the kitchen. Because our book is, our video recipes, like my brother said, they're only 1 minute. So good kids, their attention spans are very short. So as first off is the intro by us on the majority of our videos on YouTube. Just introduction, like what the food is, how it tastes, where it's from. Bit of banter as well. A bit of banter, a bit of slang, and then go straight into the recipe, like probably after 30, 40 seconds. And then by about, on the YouTube, I think it's a bit longer, it's about 2 minutes, the video length. So by 2 minutes, they're done. So
they're big experts in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for coming. What are some pantry staples that would be great for Caribbean food or Caribbean cooking?
What staple dishes are for Caribbean cooking? Like we said before in our demo, we ackee and saltfish and fried dumpling is the national dish for Jamaica. So that is definitely the Jamaican dish. But in terms of depending on your mood in the morning, what do you think, bro?
I'll say probably rice and peas is a popular, authentic dish. It's made different ways. It's made with kidney beans, gunga peas. There's different styles, but it's usually soaked overnight, the process, and the peas are boiled, and during that process of the boiling, that's when you add all the seasonings like the coconut milk and the thyme and stuff like that. So yeah, rice and peas is probably, it's eaten with most meals as well. So yeah, I'll say rice and peas.
Yeah.
And like, if we want to start getting into the cooking, what are some things that we like have to have or have to buy? Are there like certain spices or certain like tinned things, for example, that we have to have stocked?
In Caribbean cooking, there's a few certain ingredients that you must have. It's in our book as well, but I'll tell you now. It's spring onions, thyme, fresh thyme, pimento, Scotch bonnets.
All-purpose seasoning.
All-purpose seasoning is good as well.
That's a very, very quick
garlic
go-to.
and onions.
Yes.
Once you go through the book and make recipes, you're always using those same products, same ingredients. So
instead
and coconut milk as well.
When we were growing up, instead of asking for sugar, next door we asked for all-purpose seasoning.
Yeah.
It's so important. It's literally, basically it's all the seasonings in one, but we just use it as an enhancement, just to lift up the flavours a bit more.
Yeah, it's a bit cheating. It's a bit of a cheating way.
But everyone uses it. Everybody uses it. If you speak to a Caribbean, don't use it like they definitely use it.
Yeah, definitely, to give it an extra kick in the food. But Scotch bonnets as well, like I said before, that's an important ingredient. It's used in most things. But I wouldn't advise to eat it on its own, though, unless some people.
I was curious. You said that the publishing house, Bloomsbury, they kind of sponsored you to go out to Jamaica. Could you say like a bit about how that relationship worked? Because I always thought like you had a book and then you go to them with it and they kind of just jazz it up a bit, or doesn't really work like that?
You go with. Well, we already had a book before. We had a self-published book, so they saw that and like, wow, looks good. We want to make it better, make it bigger. Go to Jamaica. So that's the process with that, and they basically just gave us the tools we needed to make the book before even better. So it has 30 recipes from the previous book and 70 new ones, or 75. There's probably about 109, 10 recipes in there. So that's how it normally works, and it's basically just a corporation that helps to make the book as big as possible. They gave us help with PR, like we have to do all the PR before. You know, they got us into. So we had a lady called Becky. Big up Becky. She's sick. Amazing, so she helped us. She was in dialogue with us all the time, WhatsApp groups, everything in regards to like where do you guys want to be? I think you guys should be here where X, Y, Z, and then we would say where we should be. And you know, she helped to get us in a lot of big newspapers like the Times, the Sun, the Daily Mail. You know, there's so many different places. She helped us with ITV News as well.
It's amazing. ITV News a few weeks ago. That was good. I think the PR publishing company were amazing in terms of getting us to places that we can do ourselves. You know, giving that extra push and exposure to an audience that, you know, maybe we couldn't have reached. So
because we tried before, because it was so much work, as you can tell, like with 500,000 followers, and they want the book in like China. And we were doing that all from our mum's house. That books are in my nan's shed. Take the books from my nan's shed.
Doing a post office, packaging out the books, sending them off.
It's long, like
it's very time consuming.
He's carrying a grey bag. So long.
Time consuming. So
we just had kids as well, so it's like it's difficult to juggle all of that and then do the PR and then make new recipes and then like do new ideas like the supper club products. You know, sometimes, you know, to build an empire, you have to delegate. You have to be able to spread things out. That's right. So you can build like numerous amount of things.
So now we have some time in our hands, so we can come to places like this. No, but it's great to be here. It's great to also we can focus more on the brand. And do more demonstrations, things like that. And
it's a lot. So that's where they help. But obviously we already had power on social media, so they respected that and they listened to basically everything that we said. Gave their advice in terms of being a publication house in PR, but they basically went with a lot of what we said and just gave us all the tools we needed.
So we have our own PR team as well as this, so just to give it an extra push. In certain areas like the urban areas, urban like areas.
So we went on Half Past Podcast. Have you heard of it? It's a really popular.
Chucky Online.
Online, Poets. A really popular podcast online within our community. Really, really good. So we saw him at an event that we done in Cargo.
Cargo
Shoreditch. Yeah. So we done like a food. So we done like sold food there, like our food, Caribbean food, like a jerk pan out during a party going on with a guy called Shabba.
Yeah. It's called Carnival Sound Event.
Yeah.
So it's like a carnival feel vibe as well.
Yeah. So we met Chucky there, and through that, again, us physically being there, then he's like, yeah, you guys got to come on the show. So came on the show. So we do a lot of that as well within our own community, and then still doing the mainstream stuff, which is good balance. Yeah.
You mentioned that you guys didn't necessarily have like networks or connections to like leverage on like at the start of your careers. So what was it like transitioning into that world and learning to speak with execs and like publishing houses, and what was it like being in that world now and being like fully fledged businessman?
I think I worked before in like design, graphic design and advertising, so I kind of knew how to speak to certain people within like corporate and offices and stuff, and I knew what we had and the power of what we had and the influence of what we had online. It was just trying to get that balance of the mainstream. So when we did get into contact with those sort of people, I think my brother's knowledge as well of being able to interact with people on a business level, they respected what we had a lot more, and I think that what helped bridge the gap through our education as well. University, going to university, being able to liaise, negotiate deals, business, being able to pitch ourselves, our ideas. So like stuff like PDFs, I know how to do a PDF pitch, like pitching new stuff to different audiences. So I think that's what helped as well. Yeah.
I think also from our first book as well, we've done a lot and we learned a lot through that journey of bringing out the first one. Yeah. So them coming to us and offering us a deal, we kind of knew of what to do, kind of thing. It wasn't new to us basically. Yeah. So kind of that really helped.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true. Sometimes you just got to do it. You can't wait for the right environment. You have to just do it, and then
believe in yourself as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Believe in yourself. We knew what we had, and we knew that we can bring something really good to the table. Yeah. And they knew that as well. That's why they offered us the deal, and they kind of let us be ourselves. That was the main thing. We didn't have to change for anyone. We kept being ourselves, and we were true to ourselves, and they knew that we had something special, and that's what we did.
Just a quick question, bringing it back to the chefs and the food. I'm really intrigued as to what your favourite dish is, and potentially when you talk about other chefs that have influenced you from other cultures, what's your favourite cuisine outside of Jamaican and Caribbean?
That's the first question. My favourite dish, it depends. I'll say Akin saltfish is my favourite one because it's a simple, easy dish. Even for first-time Caribbean cooks, you can try that one. Akin saltfish. You can eat it any time of the day. Comes with fried dumplings. It's mainly a breakfast dish, but you can have it anytime. Really nice, really easy. Takes about 15-20 minutes to make. Akin saltfish. And in terms of influences for me, I think Gordon Ramsay is amazing, really good. Jamie Oliver, of course, one of the pioneers. We've got Levi Roots, one of the pioneers of Caribbean food, and opened the doors for us, and kind of inspired us to do what we're doing, as well as Ainsley Harriott, people like that.
Yeah, my favourite dishes depend, again. I'm a lover of seafood, so we've got a lovely sweet chili herb lobster recipe in there. I'm very much into creating recipes that look intimidating, but are not. So again, you might think lobster, how do you make that? But it's so simple. It probably takes about half an hour to make because the lobster's already cooked, so you get pre-cooked lobster, defrost it, season it, etc. etc. So yeah, just look at the recipes. That's definitely one of my favourite recipes in the book, as well as oxtail, if you're looking at authentic Caribbean, and my nan's curry chicken. Yeah. So nice. Really so nice with rice and peas and coleslaw.
We did a video actually with Nanny. We usually do like top-down videos by hand. I don't know if you guys seen our videos. Yeah. No? So it's like top-down, hands-on videos. So we got Nanny to feature for the curry chicken one, and she done a talk over as well. So in a strong Jamaican accent, really, you can imagine, it was really good.
It's so good.
Really good. Check it out.
That's a lovely dish. But in terms of food influences, I just love watching anybody, to be honest. I love watching people, everyday people. Like, what is your favourite dish? You know what I'm saying? So even like, I know Tesco done an ad the other, well, they're still kind of doing it. It's like there's everyday people's dishes. You see like the posters in the supermarkets of like Jeff's sausage surprise. Or, I'm really intrigued with stuff like that and seeing how people actually create their own types of recipes. But in terms of famous chefs that go beforehand, I think, again, it's more about innovation. So even stuff like this guy called Fit Men Cook, he's online, he brings out recipes all the time. It's very simple recipes that can be done every day. And I also love Mediterranean food as well, so I'm very much about crossing and looking at lots of different types of cuisines. So I don't know, I can say one person, it's kind of hard for me. I literally love to look anybody. My nan.
I didn't say, my best food is Thai food. I love Thai food. Really good. Thai food.
Beautiful. Thank you.